Hello, welcome to this episode of Minus 4 Points. It's a game week 28 preview. Now, last week there were some double game weeks, didn't quite work out for me as usual. That's how this season's been going for me. Nothing's really working out. Had a few double game weeks last week, had a few cheeky punts on some Burnley players. Didn't work out. I hope if you're watching this, at least it's working out better for you. So, the season continues. We've got another double game week for some teams coming up. Next week, there's another double game week coming up. I'm going to try and be clever. I'm going to try and take some risks. I'm at the stage of the season now where I'm not having the season that I'd like to have. Last season, I finished 49k. So that's naturally my goal for this season, and I'm a long way off it. So for me, it's an average season. I am aware for other people you have different goals, and I don't want to sound like I'm saying that how I'm doing is bad. It's just an average season for me. I should be doing better. So I need to take more risks at the end of the season. If I play it safe, I'll just finish around the same rank that I have. I've been flirting around the 500k mark all season now. So if I just play safe, I'll stay at that rank. And that's not good enough for me. So I'm going to take some more risks and hope that I can get closer to where I finished last season. If the risks fail, I'll just lose a couple more 100k. It's not great, but I think I'm still at a point of the season where I can take a few more big risks. I think towards the end of the season, if I'm still a long way off where I want to finish, I'll be like, okay, I'll play it safe now and just accept where I am. However, there's still a few double game weeks left. There's still a few potential chips to play where I still could change my rank. So I'm taking more risks. As you'll see, from my team for game week 28, I've taken crazy risks. Before we look at that, let's have a look at how I did last game week in game week 27. So this is how I did in game week 27. Now, game week 27 was interesting because Burnley were the only team with a double game week. I went for 3 Burnley players. And there were a few teams missing fixtures. So a lot of people didn't know how to deal with the fact that Liverpool weren't playing, Arsenal weren't playing. I did my wildcard the week before this. So I set my wildcard team so that I could handle this double game week. And I set my team up so that I wasn't, I had 2 Liverpool and 1 Arsenal basically. And that meant I could put them all on the bench and I'd have a good team for game week 27. However, with FPL, you know how it is, people. You can't plan 2 weeks in the future, 3 weeks in the future, because injuries happen, suspensions happen. FPL just doesn't play like that. So I still had to do 2 transfers. I still had to take a minus 4 points because Semedo got injured. I had Semedo, was banking on him playing. He then gets injured. I had to then bring in Livramento. So I did 2 transfers last week, bringing in Livramento and Coutinho. Basically, my 3 Burnley players, I banked on Burnley having a double game week, not being the hardest fixtures for Burnley. These weren't the hardest fixtures. A lot of people are saying, oh, you should never gamble on Burnley, or Burnley have all of these double game weeks coming up, but it's Burnley. However, these were okay fixtures for Burnley. I went for the goalkeeper, a defender, and Weghorst up front as my captain. As you can see, Pope 5, that's not bad. Me, 3. He gets injured. The second game, me goes off injured. And then Weghorst just average in both games. So, 48 points. Not a good week for me. Terrible game week rank. Overall rank drops again. Livramento was the only good player on 8 points. Son was the other good player on 9 points. Apart from that, 2s, 3s. Digne gets a 6, I suppose. That's something. Broya, Jimenez, terrible. Jimenez didn't even play much. It's just, it continues. This season's average season continues. I did 2 transfers. I mean, even the fact that I had Forster on the bench because he only had the 1 fixture. And I played Pope, who had the 2 fixtures. And Forster got 1 point more. I mean, that just sums up FPL luck sometimes. So, that's how I did in game week 27. It wasn't the best week for me. It was a strange week, however. A lot of people played free hits. So I guess the good thing is I didn't have to play my free hit. I get to play my free hit later, but it wasn't a good enough week for me. I'm now going to have to take some more crazy risks in game week 28. Let's just say it's not just going to be a minus 4 points this week. We're going beyond the minus 4 points brand this week. This week's going to temporarily be minus 12 points. There's the spoiler. Here's how I'm lining up for game week 28. So this is my team for game week 28. The risks continue. We're doing 4 transfers. Yes, you heard right. 4 transfers, and we're playing a bench boost. So we're playing a chip, and we're doing 4 transfers at minus 12 points. So we're already on the back foot. Brilliant. We're already on the back foot. We're at minus 12 points going into this week. However, like I said earlier, I've got to take risks. I'm playing risky. There's still a few more weeks left of the season where I think I can play risky before I cool off. This is going to be a risky week. I'm doing 4 transfers. Bench boost. The 4 transfers are Mendy in goal. Now, I don't like spending money in goal usually, but with Chelsea, it's just so hard to... Chelsea have got a double game week and then good fixtures. So, you've got to go for some Chelsea players, surely. And the problem with Chelsea is it's so hard to pick an attacker because Lukaku, yeah, maybe Lukaku gets a chance towards the end of the season. Maybe he has a little resurgence, but he's not looking great at the moment. Werner, maybe he gets a chance, but it's just so hard to work out who Tuchel's going to pick up from. Could be Lukaku, could be Werner, could be Havertz. You just don't know fully who Chelsea are going to play up front. And then in midfield, there's just no one on fire at the moment. Mount's a bit hit and miss. Ziyech has been okay recently, but I just can't pick a Chelsea attacking asset. So I'm going to have to go for defense. My thinking is Rudiger's the safe pick. If you're doing well this season, you pick Rudiger. It's a no-brainer. Rudiger this week is the easiest transfer you'll make. Chelsea have a double game week, winnable fixtures. Clean sheets are likely. Rudiger's the safe pick. I'm not playing that way this season, especially now. So I'm taking the riskier option, which is Reece James. Now, Reece James, I think will probably only play one of these games, but there's a chance he plays them both. If he plays them both, he's more attacking than Rudiger and can get the clean sheets. So, Reece James is the riskier pick. That's why I'm going for Reece James and Mendy in goal, just because I'm playing my bench boost, so I want 2 goalkeepers who both have double game weeks. So Mendy is a nice player who has a double game week, and I have Forster on the bench, who's playing for me because of the bench boost, and he has a double game week as well. So that's why I've gone for Mendy and James and not, say, James and Rudiger, because the way my team's set up, I have 4 defenders who have double game weeks and Trent Alexander-Arnold. I can't take Trent out, so I can't bring in another Chelsea defender because that means I'll have to take out one of the defenders who have a double game week. So I've gone for the goalkeeper, Mendy. James is my other transfer. My 3rd transfer this week is Willock. Now, Willock's been on a little bit of a good run, and Newcastle seem to have found form. Eddie Howe's got them going. I think Newcastle are going to be safe this season. I think they look good, and these 2 fixtures this week, Brighton at home and Southampton away, that's not bad fixtures. So with the form that Willock's in, with the form that Newcastle are in, I'm expecting some returns from 2 games from Willock. And then the 4th transfer I've done, again, it's risky. I've taken out all 3 Burnley players this week. Pope, me, and Weghorst, simply because they hurt me. That's how I'm an impulsive manager. If you hurt me, and I've got 3 Burnley players in my team, I'm taking all 3 of them out the next week. So Weghorst out, and I brought in Lacazette. Now, I brought in Lacazette because it's Watford away. It's a great fixture. And I was tempted to look at teams with double game weeks because, you know, you're bringing in someone, it'd be good to bring in a double game week player. However, there's just not that many double game week strikers this week who are jumping out at me that I should have. Lacazette has the good fixture, and Lacazette has a double game week next week. So I'm doing that transfer sort of early this week, and then I don't have to do it next week. So my team is Mendy. The defense, James, Saiss, Livramento, Dini, all have double game weeks. On the bench, my defense is Trent, a Liverpool player. West Ham at home should do well. West Ham haven't been great. That's why I took out Bowen. I took out Bowen for Willock. Midfield, Son doesn't have the double game week this week, but has the double game week next week. So that's why Son's there. Willock and Coutinho. Coutinho, this is another risk I'm taking. I'm going to make Coutinho captain. He's done nothing for 2 weeks. However, Southampton at home and then Leeds away. Leeds with a new manager and hopefully still a bit shaky. Still the defence is shaky. Hopefully Coutinho can step it up and show the form that he showed in his earlier fixtures for Villa. So Coutinho's captain. Up front, Broja double game week, Jimenez double game week. Hopefully, those two strikers are both hit and miss. You never fully know what you're going to get from Broja and Jimenez. Some weeks they deliver well, some weeks they're just average. So I'm hoping at least one of the games for both of them they deliver. And then I've got Lacazette and Saka, both from Arsenal. Watford, great fixture for Arsenal. Surely, I can, even though they've only got one fixture this week, Saka and Lacazette can deliver. Salah and Trent on the bench, but actually playing. They've only got the one fixture, but it's Liverpool. They're on fire. They should do well. And then Forster, like I said, both my goalkeepers with double game weeks. So I've done 4 transfers. I'm on -12. If the transfers I make play, they should do better than the players I had. And I feel like the bench boost kind of counteracts the -12 because I've taken hits, but I've done the bench boost. So let's see how it goes. I hate the bench boost. It's the worst of the chips. It never seems to go well. And also, you kind of have to keep a strong squad to play your bench boost because you need a good bench. So you have to kind of prepare for the bench boost in advance. Like, okay, I need my bench to be in a healthy place so that when I play the bench boost, I'm ready for it. So I like playing the bench boost now at the latest so that I don't have to then, I can then scrap my bench and just have the cheapest possible players on the bench and not worry about my bench anymore. So this is my last week having good bench players. Going forward, I'll be slowly taking money away from my defense and putting it into my first team. So that's my team for Game Week 28, people. I've taken some risks. Let me know on Twitter and Instagram at -4points how you're playing this week. If you're also taking risks, let me know in the comments on YouTube if you think I've taken too many risks, if you think I've fully lost my mind. And good luck with your Game Week 28. That's all for me, and I'll see you next week.